Hello traders, welcome to my channel. I'm Jolly. In today's video I am going to present you an indicator that is going to be available shortly on MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how it works and how it benefit me and could benefit you as well, whether you're looking to get into the market or you are a new trader and still trying to find your way around, or a trader who's been struggling to find direction in the market. Also, it could help potentially experienced traders to add this tool into your toolbox. So let me start with E-mini Nasdaq 100 June 2021 contract. The current chart I have at the moment is on the 4-hour chart. The indicator works on all the different time frames. I normally use it all the way up to M3 and M2, no less than that. I'd rather not to get into the 1 minute, but I think 30 minutes and 5 minutes are good enough for me to, every trader has a different choice, but time frames to use, but this indicator can cater for that as well. It also depending on your broker as well, the data provider. I use A&P Global USA, so I trade futures, E-mini and Nasdaq and S&P 500, so it works pretty well with me. So let me get into it. Let me drop the indicator and see how it works. At the moment you can see the plain chart, nothing's on it, which is a simple chart. The way the indicator works, it provides a price structure, and it helps to identify major levels in the market, where the support and I call it the trading zone, in the purpose of because the market rotates within a certain structure, and what the indicator does is they actually identify those levels. There's different criteria that have been used to try and identify these levels, but mainly it's data driven, so it's basically based on price action. What it does as well is you can adjust the look back bars, and you can look back as long as you want, depending on the data that you have with your broker. But the longer time frames, like the daily, the 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, ideally we use a few bars, probably up to 200, 500, that will look back and give you the details of what's happening in the market within those bars. The shorter time frames, like the 15, 5 and 3, obviously you need more bars to try and figure out what's happening within the past. What it does is actually looks at the history of the data and picks up where the relevant areas where the market is mostly active, and predicts these levels. So it gives you a previous support level, and it also predicts the future levels as well, and it does the same structure. If looking at this example that I'm showing you with the at the moment on the chart, which is the S&P, the E-mini Nasdaq 100, you can see the structure, how it works within the structure. The solid lines are the major levels, whether it's going to be resistance or support depending on the direction of the market. The dotted lines in the middle are areas where the market is expected to fluctuate, whether if it breaks this level, before it hits the upper level, the major level on the top, it sometimes pulled back within this area, and whether it breaks it, that's another story. If it breaks that major level on the top, probably will be looking at the next enters the next zone, which is another level, that major line up there and the one below here. But as you can see with the E-mini Nasdaq 100 June contract at the moment, you can see this is an area where the indicator picked it up, which is exactly where this major resistance, the market tested this many times before we had a breakdown from there took out the support level here, came down, supported a little bit over here, and raised up here but failed to continue, and we saw this pullback. It's been happening for the last couple of days. At the moment, I mean, this is a actual live chart that I'm predicting, and I'm looking at these levels where the market is predicting. So the current major resistance that I'm looking at the moment with the NQ100 June contract is about 13,141. I think that's a major resistance level. I mean, if you look back at the past history over here, you can see the current support within the middle of this trading zone here. The market was pretty active around here before it broke through that major level around here. So I'm expecting to see some action around this area, and I think most probably we'll be looking at a test of this level if we get through that, and we'll be heading back to have a go at this level here around 13,431, 432. You can also work on the lower time frames like the H1, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. Let me show you how it looks like on the 1 hour chart. I mean, obviously the lower time frames you get into it, you need to readjust the data as well. So in this case, I will change the data, and we'll punch in a few numbers here. At the moment, I'm running through a 2000 look back bars, and as you can see that it drops it nicely. Different time frames will produce different levels. In some cases, you'll be able to see the same level from H4 to 30 minutes. But the lower time frames will show you a different level as well. So I can see on this one here, it's supported around 12,991, 12,992, and we're looking at resistance around here. It's 13,054. You can also change the color code on the indicator to highlight the major levels that you want to look at. For example, I'm changing this into a stronger color, which is going to highlight exactly the major levels. You can adjust those colors, whichever colors you prefer. I mean, that's look a little bit too bright, but I'll drop it down to, and so it yeah, I mean, I can show you the next one is about the 30 minutes time frame, and I'll do the same thing, just readjust the data so that it picks up the major levels. In this case, I'm looking at the 4,000 look back bars, so it's picking up pretty well. Can also go down to the 5 minutes as well. All you have to do is do the same thing, change the data, and it will provide you a better level that suits that time frame. I normally look at 5 minutes, 3 minutes, the lowest I go, but yeah, it works pretty well. Let's have a look at the 3 minutes, and change the data so it actually runs all the way up to 10,000 bars to give you a better choice of so it actually, what it does is actually looking at the data and calculating, and it will try to pick the best level that suits the time frame. So you can always change it around, just fiddling around with the look back bars to change the data, so you'll be able to find the, once you find that, it will continue as it is, and you know how much to adjust backwards. But yeah, that's the Nasdaq 100 June 2021 contract. You can also add indicators that it's already available up on MT4 and MT5, which is I'm going to show you shortly, which is pretty handy. I mean, it can work as it is, and if you prefer just to work on price action and draw simple channels like what I used to do, but you can also add the indicators that it's available. So I'm dropping a Bollinger Band. So you can see the Bollinger Band just cruises around the 3-minute time frame. Let me take it back to the H4 time frame. And obviously I need to readjust the indicator again because I've taken back to the H4 time frame. So I know the setting for that one there is about 700 bars. So I'm just putting in 700 bars, and there you go. So it's I mean, if you're a Bollinger Band trader, this could be an ideal. But as I said, I mean, it works with other indicators as well. So let's have a look at Ichimoku. Easy for you to identify. Let me try another one. Parabolic. And let me drop a moving average. One moving average. Let's drop another moving average. Let's look at the 200. Well, we can change to 20. See how it's cruising in a closer range. So there you go. I mean, it helps me a lot in trying to identify short-term and long-term trends. And you know, like what I said, you can use it as a plain chart. Sometimes I like to look at the cleaner chart, and I'll use less indicators to work on it. But in other cases, I like to look at the details and look at the 3-minute charts. I also have a chart here that I want to show you, which is the 5-minute chart of the S&P 500. Look at the moving average, just dropped it in. You got the 20, 50, 100, 200 and 500 MAs, and you know, it tracks pretty well. It also has a trend indicator here as well, which is available, trend line indicator, which is available on MT5. What it does, it actually gives you potential change of direction, guides you where the market is heading to. And you got the red, which is a bearish, and got the bluish, which is when it's bullish, and the yellow candles are the ones that neutral, where prices could either go anywhere, whether it's up or down. So it gives you some indication of what's going to happen next. So, and it works well with the support and resistance level. So that's the shorter time frame, the 5 minutes. And let me show you the S&P 500 as well quickly. It does the same thing. Let me drop you the indicator. I'm going to change that setting. And this is the actual live chart that I'm working on here at the moment, and it's on the 4-hour time frame. You can see the major levels, predicted major levels of the S&P 500 June 2021 futures. 42.40 is the major resistance up there, and support here is 42.0557. Now it become a resistance. So all these levels have been tested as the indicator predicted were these levels, and we broken down about how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zones in the last 2 days. So we are currently looking at probably a support, a bounce from here. How strong this support is going to be, we'll have to wait and see how it goes, but I think we're looking at 4067.50 is a major support here that the market is kind of reacting with. It drops a little bit below that support level, but it bounces off at the middle. As I explained, the dotted lines in the middle of the zone is areas where the market will cross the or drop below those the support level, but sometimes it fluctuates around here. And so if it doesn't touch the major level at the bottom, could be a an indication that there is probably something is going to happen around this level here. Either it's going to hold that support level and retest this resistance level around 4102, 4136, 58. But looking at the past history around here, in April, you can see that it's a similar thing that's happened here before we had that breakup there. Prices fluctuated a little bit around these two lines here before it broke through these major levels. So I'm kind of looking at this. I'm expecting probably we'll see a bounce over here, but we'll have to wait and see. I trade these products often, the S&P, E-mini, S&P 500 and NASDAQ, so I watch this level every day. The other thing that you can do is you can add channels, which I find it pretty handy. Like what I said, I prefer to keep the chart nice and clean sometimes, but trying to look for major levels. But as you can see on this one here, it's pretty close to what I'm looking at, just by plotting a simple chart, and it's showing some details of a potential level that we might be looking at support. So it goes together with the support level that I'm watching here. Another indicator, useful indicator that I use is the Fibonacci, which trying to look at the pullback area. So I'm taking it from this resistance support level here, and I'm plotting into that major level up here to find where the main levels are. So as you can see in here, we have the 161.8, which is a major level. There's potential that what I'm saying, that might have a bounce around this area, but if we fail that, then we'll probably look at the 200 other areas here, 261.8, 227.20. So that's the S&P 500 June 2021 contract E-mini. This indicator will be available shortly on MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. I find it very useful, and I use this. I trade this on AMP Global using this platform. If you are interested in this indicator, or if you like to know more about this indicator, you can give us a tick on this one, like on the like button down below, and subscribe to this channel so you can get an update of when we're going to be releasing this indicator to the public. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers, bye.